This is the pre-final, everyone. Pre-final A for Micromax, the first of two pre-finals. This will determine where they start on the inside row of the grid. So to give you a quick example, if Max, the number 22, were to finish first, he'll start from pole. If Menard Cloaksaw in the 27 were to finish second, he'd start third. If Dowder Decker were to finish third, he'd start fifth, and so on and so on. So the position is what row they will start on the inside, of course. These will all start on the inside of the grid. That's how it's determined. For me, it sounds very straightforward. I imagine for someone who a bit unfamiliar with karting or has not seen the pre-final A-B system work before, it can take a race or two to get your head around it. I'm sure once the pre-finals are completed and then you see the grid, it will all become clear. Thanks for joining us on the live stream, though. If you are, even if you're watching this back on YouTube, thanks for watching. Chris McCarthy here for you, commentating at the event for the first time, taking over from the legend that is Ken Walker. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it this year. He sends all his best to everyone around the paddock and all the drivers as well. So thankfully did get to speak to Ken on Sunday. But let's get into the racing. I know that's what he'd want me to do. Pre-final A for Micromax. We've had qualifying, we've had the heats. This has determined this pre-final A grid. These are half of our Micromax drivers. Max will start from pole position. Menard Cloaksaw alongside Dowder Decker will start on the inside of row 2 alongside Raphael Renhofer. Row 3, Herak Nadal and Enrico Forderer. Then it will be Levente Casor. Then it'll be, sorry about that, we're just getting delivered a quick message up here. Then it'll be Levente Casor and Zoltan Kodos, Mitchell van Dijk and Kola Ordaz Gervasio. David Lackner, who was quickest in his warm-up earlier. Marcej Gladitz will be row 6, Regala Boritz and Moritz Smart row 7. Then it'll be Nando Weichselbaumer and Natalia Gladitz on row 8. Alexander Bogunovic and Piotr Borisic. Be good to see Piotr here in the 34. Had a bit of a nasty accident yesterday, which saw Piotr being taken away by the ambulance. But Piotr is back and racing. For a Micromax driver, for one of the youngest drivers here, that is determination. So, and true bravery. So well done to Piotr. Okay, here we go. This will be a 12-lap race. This is going to determine where they start on that inside row of the grid. Max in the 22 will be to the left of your picture when we change to the camera on the start-finish straight. And to the right will be Menard Cloaksaw. There they are. Here they come. Do we get away first time? Yes, we do. And the number 22, Max, leads them into turn 1. Menard Cloaksaw goes into second place. Dowder Decker holds on to third, so 1, 2 and 3 as they were. Let's hope we all get through safely, guys. They're all going to make the final. This is just going to determine where they start. Up towards the right-hand hairpin. Oh, and Dowder Decker leaves the door open, and he's going to get past. Now, that was Raphael Renhofer, I believe, making the move at that right-hander. Now, Dowder Decker maybe has to work with Renhofer here to try and catch the two leaders back up, who are already breaking away ever so slightly. Max in the number 22 taking a slightly defensive line on this opening lap here. Can't blame him for it. Menard Cloaksaw not able to find a way through so far, and that defending from Max is allowed Raphael Renhofer and the number 10 Dowder Decker to catch as they come through turn 1 and up towards turn 2. Fifth place is Zoltan Kodots, and it's Enrico Forderer, Herak Nadal, and a change for third. Dowder Decker up the inside into the chicane. A very, very brave move, and it's put Renhofer on the back foot, and now an incident. Well, that was Zoltan Kodots, I believe, who went briefly on the back of Raphael Renhofer there. We'll have to confirm when they come through the next split, but well, the number 42, it was Zoltan Kodos, so a shame there for the number 42. Both have some work to do now. That would have helped the likes of Herak Nadal and Kola Ordaz Gervasio move up a place or two, and it would have also helped. There you go, your three leaders break away. 22, 27 and 10 in that order. Max, the number 27, then Menard Cloaksaw and Dowder Decker. They have a gap of, you can see all the splits. Oh, and someone off now. I believe that was Herak Nadal who was off, the number 46. as they come up towards the right-hander. Looked like just a mistake. I didn't see any contact myself. Zoltan Kodos is now off the track once again there to the left, trying to make a move that didn't quite work. So top three away, split by 6/10. Then it's the second blacks to Enrico Forderer. So through the chicane they go, and Enrico Forderer here just trying to break away. Herek Nadal and Kola Ordaz Gervasio trying to go with him. Likewise, Rafael Renhofer, who seems to have himself settled now as three leaders come through turn one. This is lap 4 of 12. That lap counter signifies what lap we are on rather than how many we have completed. Through the chicane, I think we're about to see a move for the lead here. Certainly, Menard Cloaksaw looked close enough. Perhaps didn't get the run out the chicane that was required to make a move. Bit of dust being kicked up to the right of picture. That would suggest someone's ran wide out of that chicane. Onto the back straight come the top three. And as we spoke to Dowda Decker's mechanic, and they're saying all they can do now is give them the signals, and they really do enjoy being able to try and encourage the drivers and help the drivers move along in the race. And I think the mechanic get even more nervous than the drivers do. So, well, through turn one we go, up towards the second corner and down to the chicane. Max and Menard Cloaksaw just getting a little bit worried about Dowda Decker here. These were the drivers who started first, second and third in this exact order. Then it's still a gap back to fourth. Oh, as an attempted move there from Rafael Renhofer that didn't quite work. And now he's going to lose a place as a result to, I think that was Levente Castle, who was able to get by. We'll confirm when they next come across the line. There's the top 10 to the left, and all the names are going across the bottom of your screen, as you can see the full names there, so you can see exactly who is where. Onto the start-finish line. We are about to approach half race distance. The end of this lap will signify the half race distance, and Dowda Decker up to second place whilst I've been looking elsewhere. Dowda Decker now into second. Oh, but this battle for fourth still raging. Enrico Forderer under some pressure, and Herek Nadal leaves the door open, and Levente Castle helps himself to fifth place. What about our two leaders? I think Dowda Decker's in a very good position here. He and Max are starting to drop third place Menard Cloaksaw. As you can see, look, there they are, 1 and 2. There's third, Menard Cloaksaw. Here's the almighty battle for fourth, which will almost involve the entirety of the field very soon. We'll get the full order this time as they come across the line, because I haven't done that all race. And as we're at halfway distance, it feels a good time to do that. Max and Dowda Decker. Then it's Cloaksaw, Nadal, Castor, Forderer. Then it's Renhofer, Van Dijk, Marseille Gladitz, Kolo Das Gervasio, Zoltan Kodos is 11th. Then it's Rogala Boritz. Next along after that, as we see a couple of changes, it's Lachner, Smythe, Bogunovic, Weichselbaumer, Natalia Gladitz, and Piotr Borosic is rounding out the field in 18th place. Right, more changes. There's the number 12 just making a move for what I believe is 5th place. That's Enrico Forderer going past what I think is Levente Castle. It looks like Herek Nadal is the driver now leading this queue of carts for fourth, and Dowda Decker working very well with Max here. All I would say is don't count out Menard Cloaksaw just yet, because he may only be a second behind, but once Max goes on the defensive, and if it stays like this, he will have to at some point. It won't take long for the likes of Menard Cloaksaw to close in. What about this battle, though? Still raging on. The number 46, Herek Nadal, has, what's that, 12 carts to deal with as they head up towards the left-hander. There's our two leaders still. I'm not expecting a change from them until maybe another couple of laps, until, of course, we spoke to Decker's mechanic, until he gives him the signal. Right, now it's time to make the move. That's when I think we'll see it. Menard Cloaksaw will be hoping that happens sooner rather than later. And down the start-finish straight go the two leaders, across the start-finish line, down towards turn number 2. This the first overtaking opportunity, but hard to do in a Micromax. Not a long braking zone for them. Oh, and Dowd Decker now, has he thrown away the chance of a win? I think he has. Dowd Decker going off the track there at the chicane, and I think that's going to be race done for Max. I think Max will win this one. So let's turn our attention to this battle for fourth, somehow being led by Nadal. Still, it's Nadal, Forderer. I don't mean that in a bad way to Nadal, just with all those carts to deal with, I don't know how he's quite managing to keep up. It's Nadal, Forderer, then it's Cassor. Renhofer is next along, then a slight gap back to the number 28 of Mitchell van Dijk. And it's Marcel Gladitz, Zoltan Kolos, Gervasio, Boditz, Lackner, Schmeib next along. That's the top 14. And then we have three more battling away in the background, which include the likes of Weichselbaumer, Gladitz, and Piotr Borisic is rounding out the field at the moment. Down towards the right-hand hairpin, and again taking choosing the middle of the road there was Nadal, just going in the centre, forcing Forderer to go for the outside line. All of a sudden, these two have a gap, but Forderer's going to throw one up the inside. Oh, and almost a bit of contact there. Well, Enrico had to pull out of that move, and smart defending from Herak Nadal has now given him a break, and his mechanic will be saying, you've got a gap, go, get on with it now. Don't need to defend no more. And look, a move into the chicane. What a brilliant move that was as they come onto the start-finish straight. Now, that was Raphael Renhofer who made that move. That's the first time I've seen a move like that pulled off in that chicane. Penultimate lap, but Renhofer's got to be careful here. He's got Forderer, Cassor, Van Dijk's behind as well, and Renhofer, as you can see, now the one having to do the defending. But has he over-defended? He might have done because oh yes, he has. Well, that looked like Enrico Forderer making the move on the exit. So, well, a very good move from Raphael Renhofer is now going to have to be pulled off again, and it might happen at this chicane. He tries up the inside into the left, doesn't make it. So, well, one more lap to go at the end of this. Our two leaders have already crossed the line, as has third place, as has fourth place. But who's going to take fifth place? Could be one of anyone. Could be Forderer, could be Renhofer, could be Van Dijk, could be Gladitz, Kodotz, Cassor, Gervasio, Lackner, Boditz, Smythe. As leaders, you can see on picture now heading up to this right-hander. Here's the battle though. Oh, and running wide was Enrico Forderer, and trying the outside there was Raphael Renhofer, and goes all the way around the outside. What a move by Raphael Renhofer. Well, dropping back a place now. Enrico Forderer, he's going to have to defend here from Mitchell van Dijk as they make their way onto the back straight for the last time. The 42's in there, Zoltan Kodotz. Meanwhile, I think our race leader's coming on to the start-finish straight, and I think he's about to take race victory. But for now, we've got to concentrate on this battle to see who takes sixth place. It's going to be Enrico Forderer in the end. Well, the win has gone to Max, the number 22. His adopted nickname, Max, takes the win. And second place goes to Dowd Decker. There he is, the number 22. Dowd Decker, that mistake perhaps cost him a chance, well, definitely cost him a chance of going for the win, but that's going to give him a third place start from the final, and I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that. Third place, Menard Kreutzer, he'll go off P5 for the final. Fourth place was Raphael Renhofer, and he finished fourth place in the end. After that brilliant move all the way around the outside at the right-hander. So Raphael Renhofer, well, there's the confirmation of the result. Enrico Forderer fifth. Then it was Marcel Gladitz, Zoltan Kolos, Mitchell van Dijk, Colin Ordaz, Gervasio ninth. Herak Nadal rounding out 10th, the top 10, Levente Cassor. Then it was Lackner. Boditz was next along. Just going to round off the drivers we saw behind that. Alexander Bogunovic, Mark Smythe, then it was Nando Weichselbaumer, Piotr Borisic, and running out the field, as you can see, for the Gladitz karting team, Natalia Gladitz, 19.6 seconds back from our race winner. Well, what a race it was. Pre-final A has delivered, and we can only now look forward to both pre-final B and the final. The winners got to Max, second to Dowd Decker, and third to Menard.